So when you make an album, sorry, P. Reg Honda is the album. Yeah, so I didn't touch on that. Right? Great name.
Thank you.
You said something earlier. I'm not going to repeat, but was there a reason you called it P. Reg Honda?
It started off as a bit of an in joke when we were doing a show, and we're in our 40s now. We've been doing this for a long time. You're giving it maximum beans when you're on stage, and you're pushing it, and you sometimes feel a bit knackered. But P. Reg Honda, it's going to get you where you need to go. There might be some dodgy, compromised panel work, the old bolt tyre, but there's still juice in that engine.
Especially if it's a Civic. Yeah, big up the Civic fans who know about the old P. Reg Hondas.
Might be a surprising leak here and there, but we can patch it up and get back on the road.
I had no words. This is the Wordlife show on Ujima Radio.
Let's do it again.
Mad. Hey, right, this is the part of the show we have been looking forward to.
That's the later on. Get set, we shine bright till it's lights out. Let's do it again.
Let's do it again. Hey, and talking about doing it again, it's been 5 years since we had our interview with yourself, Dr. Syntax.
Indeed. Thank you for having me back. I can't believe it. A blink of an eye and here we are, 5 years.
It's mad that it's been 5 years, bro. Now, that was on a different channel. So now the video will be on the Wordlife YouTube channel. If you guys are watching this on the Wordlife YouTube channel, press subscribe. And you have also brought along Durbrain from Bimbag Wisdom.
That's me. Hello. Welcome myself.
No, welcome to you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, honestly, it's been a pleasure having you guys in the building. Brilliant guests, brilliant music.
Thanks for having us.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Now, yourself, I've known for many, many years now, and you've put out a lot of projects throughout that time. We are here to talk about your new album with Pete Cannon.
Yes, indeed.
But just because ultimately, what I want to try and do is introduce people to our audience. If they don't know you, they should after this and stuff. So I'm going to go through. So, Durbrain. First, we're going to start with you because you're camera front, yeah?
Nice.
Durbrain. How did you get the name Durbrain? What does Durbrain mean to you?
So it's a bit of a weird one. I'm almost thinking of stopping calling myself Durbrain. So my name is Jack Wisdom. That's my actual name. But I thought that Wisdom was a bit too. If people don't know it's my real name, I thought it was a bit too big-headed to call myself Jack Wisdom, even though it's my name.
Yeah.
So I thought the opposite of that is Durbrain. It's like a school like insult when you're a kid.
I thought it might have been that, but I didn't. I thought it might also like Kerbain or something like that. Yeah.
So I just called I called it when I was real young, and it just sort of stuck. But
I mean, Jack
I'm not
Wisdom,
sure if it's that accessible. I might go with Jack Wisdom.
Do you know what? You've got a naturally good, like Obi Trice, real name, no gimmicks. Jack Wisdom, still Wisdom.
It
kind of like says something anyway.
I reckon I'm going to go with that.
Powerful
but
name.
Thank
Jack
you, mate.
Wisdom.
Thank you.
You know, I mean, you can buy your own tickets from.
That's like a superhero name, isn't it?
I guess
like Tony Stark or something.
Jack Wisdom.
Dr. Wisdom.
People pay to change their name to Jack Wisdom.
You can pay me and you can have it, okay?
You can have Durbrain. So, also, I may as well explain the Bimbag Wisdom thing as well, because you're from a group or collective, should I say? I don't know how you title yourself.
It's more of a duo now.
So it was a group before the band.
It was a band.
And now you've kind of shrunk it down.
That's right. So we started off. It was the first album. So me and my mate Jay Bimbags, we moved to New Zealand.
Right, hang on. So just before we get to that, so Jay Bimbags is an MC.
Yeah, he's an MC.
And Wisdom. So Bimbag Wisdom.
Yeah,
the combination. It wasn't about Wise Bimbags or nothing like that. It's a combination.
No.
Right, cool.
Yeah.
No, there might have been a story to that people.
No. No, it's MC Bimbags and Jack Wisdom.
Wicked.
And then we went to New Zealand, me and Bimbags. We did a busking duo out there, and that's how we came up with the name. Then we came back to UK. Then I made the beats. Jake Bimbags rapped on most of them. I did one or two on that album, and then we turned that into a live band where I was the drummer. I MC'd now and again, but it was mostly Jake's tunes that he'd written, and he's more a melodic singer. And I was like grungy hip hop.
So he sings more than raps, then, does he? Or?
In this project, he basically straight raps. Now and again, he'll sing a hook. But he was a lot more melodic in the original stuff. Yeah. And then recently in the last couple of years, we're just doing it as a with Mr. Fitz,
yes,
DJ Mr.
wicked
Fitz.
DJ,
yeah, Big ups, Mr. Fitz. Yeah, and we do like we try and get like comedy, theatrical like elements to it as well. So we do like skits in between, and
nice.
We're trying to.
A lot of that's missing from hip hop now, isn't it? People take themselves too seriously, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, what I remember the Wu-Tang? I keep feeding you. I keep feeding you. I get to say the rest of it.
There's nothing else you can say.
Exactly that. Yeah. But if you know, you know. But no, we need more of that. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, it just makes it more fun for us as well. Like when we turn up to a gig, sometimes we'll come up with a skit on the way there, and when you're doing the same tunes over and over, it's like, how are we going to play with it tonight, and what we're going to do? We do like costume changes.
Right. So, on that note, so we got Big Bag Wisdom and Durbrain. But also watch out for his next project is Jack Wisdom, because I can see
that's coming. And
right. I'm sorry. No,
we do Jammu as well, so that's with.
I was gonna come back because you're both full part of that, aren't you?
Yeah.
We're touching on that shortly. So
cool.
No, that amazing as well. Big up, Death Threats, my bro as well. Yeah, family. Right. Okay. So, Mr. Syntax, no, I'm joking. Sergeant Syntax, no. Admiral Syntax, no. Dr. Syntax! We got there in the end.
What an intro. I might change my name. That's my whole title now. I'm getting a business card printed tomorrow.
I'll lend you some money for all the extra ink. That's a lot, right? But no, it's a pleasure to have you back after all these years. You look exactly the same in that time. You haven't aged even slightly.
Oh, so thank you very much.
Working. Big up Boyce and the Bros from Fridge and stuff like that. I had to drop it, you said. But, bro, you're a boss. This new project with Pete Cannon, he is a mastermind of production.
Yes, indeed.
And you guys have been working for years on stuff, haven't you? You and Pete Cannon. What was your first ever song you done with Pete Cannon?
Yeah, so if people don't know about Pete Cannon, he's a producer extraordinaire. He's been making hip-hop for a long time.
For real, yeah.
In recent years, he's really taken off as a jungle producer.
Like old school.
Yeah.
Like Atari.
That's it, with the Octamed, with all the old synths and old hardware, and that was always there in the background. That was always the dream. But he's just one of those people that is naturally musical and excited and enthusiastic about any type of music that he might meet. So a great person to be around, very inspiring. So we really became friends. Oh wow. Best part of 20 years ago, I suppose, mid 2000s. And
it's not your first project together, is it?
No. So we started. So he had a few beats. He had most of the beats actually on my album from 2010, which was called Benny Huge. But then it was in 2014 we put out 10 years ago. We put out our first album together, Killer Combo.
That's the one I know more so. Yeah. And I think that's the one we talked about 5 years.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
It's amazing what you forget in 5 years as well. But no, honestly, I've always been impressed with the duo, and I think his production, your vocals, and your creativity. And I think some of the sarcasm and tongue-in-cheek stuff you say, and I think, as I was saying earlier, rappers take themselves too serious too much. You are the exact opposite. Not like you take yourself for a joke or nothing, but you ain't afraid to just talk about normal things.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I think like friendship in a creative partnership is very important. And I mean, I'm not saying I love working with loads of different people who you might have just met and get a vibe with, but when you're working with your best mate, and it's the same with Bin Bag Wisdom as well. I see it with Jake and Jack, with Bin Bags and Durbrain. There's that synergy between them that only comes when you really, really know someone. And that's the same with me and Pete. We've been working together for a long time. So
there's no like falsehoods or inhibitions or nothing like that when you're around. You could just literally come together, be yourselves, have some fun, and what comes out basically.
Exactly. So you're not thinking about like, what are we going to do with this? What is this the tune for the radio? Is whatever. It's like I'm making tunes to make my mate laugh or whatever.
Is that the angle you take when you go in the studio with?
Very often, not always, but yeah, like a lot of the time, we're having fun making music, definitely.
So when you make an album, sorry, P Reg Honda is the album, yeah. So I didn't touch on that, right? Great name.
Thank you.
You said something earlier. I'm not going to repeat, but was there a reason you called it P Reg Honda?
It started off as a bit of an in joke when we were doing a show. And we're in our 40s now. We've been doing this for a long time. You're giving it maximum beans when you're on stage, and you're pushing it, and you sometimes feel a bit knackered. But P Reg Honda, it's going to get you where you need to go. There might be some dodgy, compromised panel work, the old bolt tire, but there's still juice in that engine.
Especially if it's a Civic. Yeah, big up the Civic fans who know about the old P Reg Hondas.
Might be a surprising leak here and there, but we can patch it up and get back on the road.
I had no words. Look, I enjoyed the title, enjoyed the songs, I enjoyed the project as a whole. Was there like any overall theme or something with it, or was it just a lot of stuff that you collected or you made, or was it like you done 30 songs, picked the best 11? Like, what's the process with you guys sort of?
For this particular one, sometimes it's like that. For this one, really, it was just kind of a selection of songs we've done over the last few years. And with Pete, when Pete gives you beats as well, it could be from 2 weeks ago, or it could be from 15 years ago. You never know. And then you find out like further down the line. So some of these songs like are really, really old, and some of them, and same with lyrics that I've got. I might have just at this point I'll thumb through things and find something that I wrote many years ago, and then that sparks creativity, and then you do something new with it. But so it definitely had a bit of a feel of like new/retro. We're digging through the crates of old bits and bobs that we have, and then turning it into something new. So I think that's kind of the theme, something that's vintage but classy.
Okay, good answer. Now on the real, he's, as you say, gone down that rabbit hole of old hardware and stuff like that. Were many of the songs made on like Amstrads or Ataris and things like that? Do you know? Or?
Definitely, I know Benny was the one that you played just recently. That's definitely like that's gone through the hardware. I mean, again, like I don't even know. Like,
So I know you're not the producer, but it's just I know he's so creative with it that I've got to ask these questions. There's not many producers that would know how to turn on some of the machines that he uses. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like it's like most people now, it's all click and sample packs and stuff like that. He literally makes sounds from scratch, you know what I mean?
That's it, and like ridiculous archaic processes that you wouldn't want to, like old samplers with 4 seconds of sample time, and whatever's going. But he loves that process.
And stuff like that,
exactly. He loves. Basically, he's got the studio set up that he wanted when he was 13, and it looks like he's flying a starship or something in his bedroom. It's ridiculous.
Right now, as I say, I touch on it in a bit. Jamu.
Yeah.
Now. That is quite a big collective. Yourself, you, DJ Fitz,
Death Threats is on, Madly, Bin Bags, Kieran Bonsui. There's a lot of people. There's a horn section as well, Ollie and Sam. And the album, even more guests. So I think Fitz's whole thing was similar to like Lonteloup, Lonteloup, French. Two French producers, but they work with loads of different vocalists, and I think he just wanted to showcase his scene, his thing in Bristol. And
Jamu, is that more of a Fitz kind of collective?
Mr. Fitz is at the helm of it. He's riding the spaceship, and we're all just passengers.
I see. No, it takes a good crew to.
Yeah, we're crew. We're not passengers.
Exactly. No, that's a dope thing. But no, again, I think he doesn't. From the outset, you don't necessarily get that from the outside, if that makes sense. It just looks like it's unity amongst all of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not like it's his picture and then
that's true. No, he's really good like that. Like I think it is for him. It's a collaborative thing as well.
That's dope.
Yeah, he's just released an album as well.
Okay. What's his album called?
It's called Hear the Sound. It does what it says on the tin.
Hear the sound. Right. So your album come out when?
About a month ago, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, recently.
Okay.
This quarter.
Fair, good chat. And it's out on all streaming platforms and everything like that. Have you done any videos or anything? Because I know you're quite a video guy as well. You got a lot of.
Yeah, I like the modern style of little reels where you just stand against a wall. Let's do a minute, and there it is. There's a new one every day.
I mean, the game's changed. It really has, hasn't it? I mean, long gone are super expensive videos. Like TLC spent like how many millions on waterfalls and never recouped a penny. You know what I mean?
Oh wow, yeah.
Also, even if you've got the money, a lot of artists now will put a load of money into a video, and then a video if they just do in the street by a wall in their room will do better than that. So it's like what? Yeah, it's a bit of a shame because it's a creative process that is fun to do.
Yeah,
it's also sort of what's the point
if you're not getting that MTV money now? And it's just YouTube paying 0.005 pence per play or whatever it is or something.
I think there's still space for good visual art, of course. When there's a good video that captures your eye, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, definitely.
But then also, I quite like the fact that it can just be stripped down to the bare bones, you know, the lyrics of the song. There's the artist performing. I think possibly, you know, we touched it on before, like with all the AI and everything, and but I think what people really want to see is just a person doing something in front of them that they can believe.
Yeah, and I think that as I say, we've gone full circle now, and I think, you know, as you said, someone who literally could just stand there and bust a freestyle with no thought, nothing like that, you know what I mean, could get 10 million views, and then you could spend 10 million on a video and get 50 views. You know what I mean? It's a strange world when like that. But right, so we have a couple of adverts I have to play, and then we're going to go into a live performance part of the show.
Nice.
Before I go into that part, is there anything I'm missing out? Any shows you want to pick up or anything like that?
Not off the top of my head.
No, just go and stream P. Reg Hondas, Dr. Syntax, Pete Cannon, and also Eat Well by Brain and Gotcha.
That's the new single, so I played that on the show.
Yeah, I played that.
Okay, is that out on all streaming platforms?
Yeah, it's just come out last week, I think it was.
Make sure you go support both of them. We will have their names coming up on the screen. Also, actually, I want to give a plug. Sorry to do this on your interview, but AFT Rap's 6th birthday party is on Friday. I believe. Lost Horizons, and it's going to be a big event. They've got Kailash, they've got Doc Brown, they got Pitch and SEO, Caravan Collective, a whole heap of stuff. You've got Blacksmith on there. So basically Friday, be there. Or just don't, innit? But it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So make sure you're there. But we're going to go to some commercial breaks. We'll be back after this with a live performance. So stick around.
I am supreme, and this is the team. Here we come, place your bets. Wordlife as good as it gets. Shut it down, split the check. Free the hard way, triple threat. Here we come, place your bets. Wordlife as good as it gets. Shut it down, split the check. Free the hard way, triple threat. We in it to win it, we get it, we spend it, we hit it.